word courtship in a simple term, in a layman language. Can you tell us about courtship? You know, we have so many relationships, like we have friendship, some people even have boyfriend. We have discussed about that last time on the show. So, but I want us to discuss about this courtship of a thing. What do you understand about courtship?
All right, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Courtship in a layman terms, actually, I would love to first correct this erroneous notion of people. Courtship is not boyfriend and girlfriend.
Okay.
Courtship is different from boyfriend and girlfriend relationship.
Right.
So courtship actually is also a relationship between two people. And the reason why courtship is different from because boyfriend and girlfriend is also a relationship between two people. But courtship is done under the guidance and protection of parents and mentors. So that is why courtship is different from boyfriend and girlfriend. Because if it is boyfriend and girlfriend relationship, your parents, they are not know that you are engaging in such relationship. But when it comes to courtship, your parents, your pastor, your mentors, they are fully involved in such relationship. That is simply what courtship means.
So which means a boyfriend and girlfriend of it is a hidden relationship, because people are not they are not known.
Yes. So that is what courtship is, the kind of relationship that is done under the guidance and protection, lectures of parents, mentors.
Okay. Recently we all know, or it's obvious, that many courtship relationship does not end in marriage. I just want to know, or we want to know, is it all courtship relationship that ends in marriage? Like, must it end in marriage? You know, like boyfriend and girlfriend too. They used to say that you know, they are testing themselves and they are still looking at themselves if that is going to work or not. So which means it's not definite. But what about courtship? Must it end in marriage? Can't they also be testing themselves, and maybe after when they see that I think we are not okay together, let's just break it?
Okay. For you to want to say, okay, let's start courting, that means you've made up your mind that I want to marry this person.
Okay.
You can't just say let's start courting without having a particular goal or having a particular vision, which is we are getting married. So if you are starting a courtship, it has to based on the foundation of marriage. Like, we are going into marriage. That is why we are starting our courtship. Because it is not just what you are going to do in a kind of hidden environment or something like that. It is not a kind of relationship that I don't want your parents to know yet, I don't want your friends to know yet. When it is courtship, then it is open. There's nothing hidden about it again. Because you already know that, okay, this is the person I want to spend the life of my life with. So the rest of my life with, So courtship is now the stage you guys are going to start working towards that vision, towards that goal, which is marriage. So for you to say that you want to start courting, that means you already made up your mind that you want to marry this person. Actually, the long run, some circumstances might actually creep in, which might lead to them not ending up together. But if you say you want to court this person, you are ready to start courtship, that means you are ready to make that relationship to work and end in marriage. So courtship is not just the kind of relationship that, let's see how it goes. It is already, I know and I want this thing to end this way. I want this thing to end in marriage. So it can happen that at the long run, some circumstances might creep in, things might happen, and they don't eventually get married to each other. But courtship, you always have the background of you want to get married to each other.
Or if you are not having maybe common terms,
a lot of things can actually lead to them not coming together, even if they have the mind of coming together. There are some factors that can lead to them not eventually coming together.
But it's very rare. When you say you are courting, it's very rare to say that, okay, it's not a dating.
Yes. There might be some kind of situations that warrant it. Probably your values, your goals, and the likes are not the same. Probably at the long run you discover that, okay, this person has this kind of attitude or temperament or character I cannot deal with, of which you did not even know before. Sure, you get what I'm saying now? Of which you did not even know before. So, but basically, if you want to start courting your partner, if you and your partner want to go into courtship, then it means you've made up your mind that you are going to make this thing end in marriage. Even though there are some things that might actually hinder that to happen.
Okay, so now you're telling us that I think I got the point is that before you can call that thing courtship, it means that you've
There's
had
a goal.
Yeah, you had it at the back of your mind
Yes.
that now I'm ready
Yes, to marry this
to
person.
marry this person.
Yes.
Okay, thank you on that. What can you tell us? I wanted to help us on things that can be discussed while courting. Like, why courting? While in courtship, what are the necessary things that we can discuss?
I used to tell people that courtship is not the time when you guys will be doing boyfriend and boyfriend, going to Cold Stone,
Because
going to
that's why I asked that question. That's why I have that question, because
Chicken Republic.
people think if you're in a relationship like that, you can just be going to ShopRite every day and then malls every day. We should just be having fun. So some people take that kind of relationship as fun. So I help us in telling us what should be discussed while courting.
Why courting is when you need to actually discuss your values, what you stand for, your goals, your dreams. It is during that process you know that, okay, this person actually aligns with my vision. This person also aligns with my goals. This person also aligns with my vision. We have the same vision. We have the same goals. These are the things we want to achieve with our marriage. There are a lot of things we can discuss during courtship. You discuss finance. Finance is number one. It is very, very important.
Finance.
Okay, yes, it is very. How are we going to finance our home? How are we going to share the responsibility? Is it going to be 50-50 or 80-20? So that when you get into the marriage, it won't be like, hey, woman, you're not even assisting me at all. You're not even doing this. You're not even trying to take responsibility.
Let me come in. I think I found a question in the discussion. Now, about the finance stuff. Does it mean that if I'm not financially buoyant, I and my spouse shouldn't get involved in marriage?
Let me answer your question.
Okay. Can I give that excuse to her that whenever she asks me that, when are we going to get married, for God's sake, I should just give that excuse that you are not, there's no money.
It is not until when you are rich before you can get married. But don't make a mistake of not having a source of income before you get married. If at least you have a source of income that will give you money, like that will give you finance to actually feed your mouth and one other person, then you are safe.
But one other person.
Yes, which is your wife. Both of you can actually work things out like, okay, we are not having children yet. Let us wait for some particular period of time to have children. Stuff like that. But never make the mistake of getting married without having a source of income. I used to tell people that it is in the olden days that they used to do it that both of them, they get married, they don't have a source of income. It is not now. It will end in it will end in serious issue for both of them.
It's not even in regret.
It will end because men, they love respect. And if you are not being biased, the truth of the matter is it is natural. If you don't have money to take responsibility in your house, there might be issue with respect. It is just natural, except you want to deny the fact.
So you are telling us that women should respect their husband based on their pockets.
I'm not saying women should respect their husband based on their pockets, but the issue is that when
nowadays, that's what is happening.
It's not even nowadays. It's not about nowadays. When she asks for, okay, what are we eating today? Nothing. What are we eating tomorrow? Nothing. How are we going to pay these bills? I don't know. Tell me. Where is the respect?
But shouldn't the woman knows that there is no money in this man's hand? Why will you be asking that kind of question when you know?
It is actually not women's fault. It is actually not. It is just natural. Except if you want to lie.
Okay.
It is just natural. Money it's not that there won't be respect though. But it's not even about having that kind of money, but ability to do the little you can do, ability to provide the little you can provide. You won't even have to fight for the respect. It's going to come. She's going to say that, okay, you are even trying your best to do this thing. You are trying your best to provide. You are trying your best to give food, put food on the table, some daily bills, cover some daily bills and the likes. It is not as if the wife doesn't know what you are passing through or something. It will just come naturally. Because when you start having issues, when fight starts creeping in, you'll be like, hey, it is me you are talking to that way, Abi. It is me you are talking to that way, Abi.
Some wife, maybe I should say, some women do not understand the language of trying. I don't marry you so that you can try. give me what I want and give the
That is
stuff I
why
want.
that's why I said finance is something they need to talk about during courtship. If both of you have talked about it, that okay, this is the little I am earning for now, and the lady to us, okay, this is the little I am earning for now. Let's look at how we are going to work things out together with the little both of us are still earning for now. Not that you just go into marriage without anything and expect that the respect you said you want, the love you said you want, because if there is no money self, there's no how the husband wants to express the love the woman wants. Because men, they used to think a lot whenever they are broke. They used to think a lot. And the woman will be like, you are not doing this thing enough. You are not. And somebody that is not happy, somebody that is thinking, how did you want him to actually express the kind of love he wants? So it is better for both of them to talk about it before getting married so that they will not start having problems. Because if they not talk about the issue of finance before getting married, they will have issue with respect, they will have issue with submission, they will have issue with love in the marriage. So it's not all about having that kind of big money, but please have a source of income.
Do you hear, guys?
It is very, very important.
Boys, they say you should go and have money.
No, I'm not saying they should go and have all the money, but at least have something that will be paying your bills. Have something that will be paying your bills. You need to recharge, you need to recharge lights, you need to eat. At least be able to feed your mouth and one other person before you say that you want to go and get married. People see, if you say you want to get married, family will come. Family will see that money that you need for wedding ceremony. Family will give you, but after wedding, they will go back to their house. It will remain you and your wife. So if there is no source of income at all, that is when issue will start coming up with respect. Issue will start coming up with submission, with love. That's when the man will be saying that don't think I'm the head of the house. You are not submitting enough. You are not doing this. When there is money, when you are doing your responsibility, submission will come naturally. You won't even have to fight to earn your respect. No matter how little it is, you won't have to fight to earn your respect. So the issue of finance is very important for them to discuss during courtship.
So that even the lady will know what
is on plan. If she's okay with it, fine.
Then you can.
If she's not okay with it,
and even if the guy does not have anything, she just open up to the guy. See, I do not have anything. No. Will you go ahead with me? Yes, we've heard the story of people that do not have anything. And
during courtship, they don't have anything. But in marriage, at least have a source of income before you get married. Both of them during courtship, the guy might not have anything. The guy might still be jobless. But both of them can still keep trying during courtship to actually get something. Probably get a job, start a business, but still being jobless, having nothing to do, and get married. They're on a long thing.
I saw the seriousness on your face.
I swear, they're on a long thing. It's going to actually affect.
Financial is part of the discussion.
It's very important.
Do you have another thing?
They need to
discuss.
Okay, they need to talk. We've talked about finance.
Yeah, finance.
Then they need to talk about
should they talk about how many child?
Sure, they need to talk about that. They need to talk about that. They need to talk about a lot of things. They need to talk about if you have misunderstanding, how are we going to be settling it? They need to talk about that. If they can talk about that from courtship, they won't have issue in marriage. Okay, let's set the standard. Whenever we have misunderstanding, we are not going to sleep until we settle it. So that means they've set a standard for each other. And when they get into their marriage, that is the standard they will be using. That,
because it has been set already.
Yes, it has been set already. We are not going to go to bed until we settle any kind of dispute that we have.
Okay, what about this question? Do you think they need to discuss about their past relationship or their past anything at all? Maybe on relationship or on their
past
family,
life.
Personal life, something like that. Should they discuss about?
Of course, they should discuss about it, because we have some people that are interested in knowing your past. They are interested in knowing your past, and whatever the past is, they don't attach any meaning to it. Like, the past has gone. They just have to have a knowledge of what is in your past, in case anybody can just come in the nearest future and say that, do you know that this your husband or this your wife has done something like this? Of course I know. That will be their response. But when they don't have an hint of whatever it is that might have happened in your past, and somebody just come in the nearest future and say that your wife or your husband did something like this, they'll be like, wow, so it actually did something like that. It can cause a lot of issues. So I think there are some guys that actually matured enough, to know your past, and there are a lot of ladies that are actually matured enough. They say, okay, your past is none of my business. I just want to know it, to have a glimpse of what has happened before in your life, and to avoid any kind of issue that might come in the future. So they can actually talk about each other's past.
Okay, there are kind of guys that are matured enough to undo your. Okay, now are you telling us that the lady need to study the guy before she tells spouse her past.
Okay. It's not about studying the guy, but you actually know that this guy is actually serious when it comes to courtship. When it has reached courtship stage, I don't think there should be anything they should hide from each other again.
There are some things we are different.
Yeah.
Guys are different. There
Exactly.
are some people you can tell some people something and they just wave it like there's nothing. If you tell some people, they can be thinking about
it
for years. You understand?
Yes.
That might be something to them like, will I able to go ahead with this relationship?
I think it is even better.
Not
It is
to.
now better for you to tell him. If you cannot deal with it, fine. To avoid issue in the future, it is better to have a broken courtship now than have a broken marriage. Because the kind of guy that cannot deal with that now, that cannot deal with your past,
You're not able to deal with
will not be able to deal with it in marriage. If eventually
you got married to him.
you get married to him and he actually heard from someone that this has happened in your past before. You get what I'm saying now? So if it is a past that you know that if I did not tell now, it's going to cause issue for me in the future, it is better to tell. And a kind of courtship where God is leading both of you, it's God that actually lead both of you together, and you guys are not even doing a kind of courtship that your parents, your pastors, your mentors are not aware about it. Then you should be open with each other. This is not a kind of boyfriend and girlfriend relationship. You should be open with each other. You should have a kind of open mind. Both of you should be open-minded to each other.
Even if that lady has done a lot of abortion, she
can tell. If the guy can deal with it. Is it not better for her to tell him and they can seek for medical help now that they are in courtship? Now when they get into marriage and they start running enters later. It might look very hard, but it is always on the safer side, and it is always better to discuss or tell them about your past if you see that they are interested in knowing.
Okay, so if you see that
some people are always interested in knowing, and some people are not interested in knowing. Some people say, I don't even care about it, I don't want to know. But even if you tell you that I don't want to know, or she's saying that she doesn't want to know, if you know that this thing, if he or she eventually know in the future, it's going to cause problem, tell them. To be on the safer side.
So you can hear. So always discuss about your past. If you know that it will give you a lot of issue when you get married. Yes. Just try to tell your spouse, I did this years past, and I don't know if you are cool with it, but I'm not doing it again.
Yes, I am a new person.
I'm a new person. I don't do something like that again. Will you cope before we marry now? And because we have seen a lot of series like that the husband did not know that the wife was a prostitute before they got married, and when they got married, he eventually found out that this was what it was, and that guy knows that he cannot
deal with
divorce the lady. So he was just acting anyhow to the lady, and he was not enjoying the marriage. So the better thing is discuss the past so that the guy will know if
is okay with it.
And it's not only for to the side of the girl.
Yes.
Both of you need to discuss about it.
Because there are some guys that what they have done in the past, if you hear, you say, I cannot wait. So
but past is the past now.
Yes.
Let past be past. So
yes.
you can't what's it called now? You cannot predict the future with the past. So just try to
and work on having a better future.
A better future.
Thank
you on that because of our time. Let's go to the next question I have here. Now I have as a lady in courtship with my partner. Okay. Do I need to be visiting his parents and maybe his relatives for house chores? Maybe I want to help them because I know that they are my in-laws. Like my mother-in-law now, she will need to.
She will go and help her and wash clothes.
Yeah, Yoruba used to call that thing something. Say, I don't know if you understand Yoruba.
I understand.
Yeah, that's entoba daomi siwaju matele tutu or something like that.
I will say that. There is this adage. Is it even adage? Popular saying that what you cannot finish, don't start. What you cannot finish, don't start. Like, how on earth do you say that you want to be going to your in-law house to be doing house chores so that they can accept you or something? That is actually low self-esteem. You are suffering from low self-esteem. You'll be going to their house, wash plates for them, wash clothes, See, if you like, wash clothes from now till tomorrow. If their son say that I no longer marry this one, no, I've seen another one, and that one self, she's fixing her nails. She will sit down. They'll give her food.
They'll just accept her like
they will
that.
accept her. If you like, go and kill yourself. So that is if you think that going to their house to do house chores and the likes is what will give you acceptance, you are suffering from low self-esteem. Well, why will you go there and be doing house chores? It's not as if you went on a visit, probably your fiance take you to their house on a visitation or something like that, like come and meet my people or something. So what do you want to go and do there? It's not as if they invited you over to come. What do you want to go and do?
The lady was just thinking that if I could do something like that, maybe I would just
they will accept
a free acceptance.
She's that kind of lady suffering from low self-esteem. Even on like I don't see any reason why you go to your in-laws and be so that for the sake of acceptance and be doing house chores and doing this.
Shana spouse went a good day together. Maybe she can help the mother-in-law when they went on a visit.
If they went there on a visit and she see that okay, there is no one else around, and it is only the mother-in-law that is probably cooking, she can go and meet the mother-in-law in the kitchen. And there are some mother-in-laws that will say that okay, you are a visitor, go and sit down.
But don't you think that is good and it's polite for her to at least stand up to and attempt to help them out?
That is what I said, that okay, she can stand up and say okay, let me help. And if the mother-in-law is willing to allow her to help, okay, you can do this, you can do this, and they can do it together. But it's not a kind of something that you now be going to their house and if you have clothes, let me wash. There are some people that used to do it, and at the end of the day, they not get married to their son. So it is one of the symptoms of low self-esteem. Like you are having a kind of low self-esteem. You like looking at yourself. You don't look as if you are fit. Like you don't look as if you are qualified. You that you are a spec. Like you're supposed to be looking for up and down. You now be carrying yourself down.
Maybe it's love, but you can't say. Maybe because of I love this guy and I should love everything.
Even if you love the guy, and you are trying to go to such extent.
Or haven't you seen lately that ladies are fighting themselves against because of a guy?
They're fighting themselves.
It's flying on the social media now.
Yeah, it's part of low self-esteem now.
That, I love this guy. You cannot come and collect.
It's part of low self-esteem.
You cannot come and collect.
It is part of low self-esteem. Because if you actually know your self-worth, if you have a self-worth and you know it, you won't be fighting over someone. When in actual sense, some people can even go to the mountains to go and pray that God give me this kid. My pastor was sharing an experience with us in one of our money deal. Okay. That there was a time he saw a lady and he was like, God, if you should give me this lady, I will worship you for the rest of my life. Can you imagine? Can you imagine such a thing? Yeah. And some people are there fighting on top of her. And somebody is going to beg God that God, if you should give me this lady. So it's because they don't know their self-worth. I doubt if they have one. Because if they have one, they know what they weigh. They know their value. They won't be actually disgracing themselves up and down. They won't.
Of social media, and they even know that they are videoing them, and they just keep doing what they're doing.
It's part of low self-esteem.
So low self-esteem causes that. And another question here that I have is, does courtship grant me an access to sleep over his or her place anytime I want? Like, okay, she's my spouse, and I have rights now to sleep over her place. So far, she's the only one that she's living at that place.
Are you both married? Are you both married? It's actually I would say on a rare occasion.
Does courtship do not bring any rights?
Which right is that? It doesn't bring any right of, except if you want to lie. It doesn't bring any right of both of them sleeping together in their house or passing the night or something like that. But in a kind of some rare occasion, like okay, there's some rare occasion that this person is in town, and instead of using money to go and get an accommodation outside or lodge in an hotel, I have a place and I have rooms, you can stay. But that doesn't give you the rights to be going to the place all the time that I can crash here, I can do this, I can do that. No. Courtship doesn't give you that kind of opportunity to just say that okay,
you need to at least respect
that. At least respect your privacy now. It's not every time you do. If you are both married now, if your husband did not see you at home, where are you? If your wife did not see you, where are you? Because that is your house. Because that is your house.
And it means that you're married already. You are now responsible to each other.
But when it is not your house, it is go there today, crash there tomorrow. It's more or less like living a couple's life.
Yeah, that's true. Thank you on that. And We really need to go on break now before we come for the last question. So let's go on break.
Where else, who else, if not your number one internet radio, JM Bliss Radio, reaching our world.
3, 2, entertainment. JM Bliss Radio. The best online station. JFP Police Radio. You ask for it, you get it. Listen to us live on jmpblees.com/bleesradio. Download our app, Blees Radio, on Google Play Store. The best online radio station non-stop. When these people they come body me, when I go, I got the beat. Say God no. Don't touch that dial. We on JFP Police Radio. Listen always, everywhere you go.
All right, welcome back on the show. Discuss relationship with T strings. Discuss relationship with T string, DRWT, on JMP Bliss Radio. Every Saturdays we do have this show here. Okay, thank you. I guess it's morning that you have been helping us on this issue.
You're welcome, sir.
And I know our listeners have been getting one or two things like that. All right, we have two questions to go here. And the next question here is, can you tell us, reasons why courtship fails? Reasons why courtship fails.
Okay. Reasons why courtship fails. There are reasons. There are a lot of reasons why courtship can fail. The number one reason is lack of commitment.
Lack of commitment.
Lack
Are
of
you right?
commitment.
Lack of commitment.
See,
Okay.
there is no how compatible both of you can be. If one person is committed and the other person is not committed, it won't work. It won't work. Like total
So both of them need
commitment. Like, okay, I am totally committed to
To
this
this.
relationship, and I am willing and ready to do everything to make things work out. If you don't have that kind of mindset, like if there is issue today, if there is issue, let us go on our way. But if you are committed, okay, let's look at what is giving us issue. What are the possible ways we can use to actually trash out this
this
thing?
thing.
It is somebody that is committed to the relationship that will think in such a way. But if we are not committed to it, we're like, no problem, now should we are fighting? Let us go.
Well, maybe I'm dealing with something and the lady I'm cutting just feel like, actually, I don't want dealing with it. Why? What is my own thing now? Just
Exactly.
be doing it.
Commitment actually, like, commitment is giving your whole self to the relationship. Like, I am committed to this relationship in spirit and in soul.
So,
You pray about it, you work towards the success and everything. Even in your prayer, you include it. If you are not committed, you will not remember it in prayer. But if you are committed to that relationship, remember it in prayer. The way you do things with your partner, if you have a kind of misunderstanding, the way you are going to look forward to, let's settle this thing. It all boils down to your commitment. A lot of things you are going to be doing boils down to your commitment. But if you are not committed, you will get tired easily. Because it's not easy. Because a guy and a lady coming together to become one, they are both from different backgrounds.
Yes, exactly.
They have their differences. It is not easy. They have their differences. They will have to
They grew up from different.
Yes, they will have to start teaching each other. Okay, I don't like this thing. Don't do this thing this way. Do this thing this way. They will start teaching each other. They will start learning together and growing together in love.
Even though you can't know everything.
You can't know everything, but you continue learning. Like, continue learning. It is somebody that is committed to the relationship that wants to learn about their partner. They want to learn about their partner. They want to know their partner love language. They want to know what is going on in their partner life. So if you are not committed, the courtship cannot work.
So that's one of the things that.
Yes. Then another thing is sacrifice.
Sacrifice. Okay.
In courtship, you are going to sacrifice a lot. You are going to sacrifice your time, your convenience, your money, your everything. You are going to sacrifice. If you are selfish, it cannot work. If all you know is only me, it cannot work. You need to be selfless. So there are some people that they are selfish, they are not selfless. I don't see how their courtship wants to work.
So immediately, when you are like that, immediately you enter courtship, just know that thing must die. That being selfish.
It's not that it must die. If you can work on your selfishness and become selfless, it can still work. But if you cannot make sacrifice, if you cannot support your partner, make sacrifice for them, go out of your way to make sure that whatever they are doing becomes successful, to support them, to appreciate them. You sacrifice your time. Sometimes it's not even going to be convenient for you, and your partner will say that, I shall want to see you. Let us meet somewhere. You have to say, okay, let me put this thing aside and go and answer this person. It's a sacrifice. Your time, giving your time is sacrifice. Giving your money is sacrifice. Giving your selflessness is sacrifice. So if you cannot sacrifice a lot of things, then the courtship cannot work. The relationship cannot work. You need to be selfless. Like, I am ready to sacrifice. Even if Jesus Christ has not sacrificed himself for us, where are we going to be today? Yeah. That's just it. If you look at it that way, if you cannot sacrifice, then there won't be any marriage. Because you continue to sacrifice the marriage.
Okay,
it's all about selflessness. And another thing is trust. Trust is very pivotal in a relationship. If you don't trust each other, don't even bother.
Relationship
go and marry.
Because
we keep having issues. Because we keep suspecting you, like you are doing this thing, and you are not doing it. Then there will be issue. You will get tired one day. You keep accusing me of doing this thing, and I am not doing it. Should I even go and start doing what you are accusing me of doing?
So far that you are thinking about it.
Yes. And you that on the other hand that you do not trust your partner, you start giving yourself unnecessary headache. You start thinking about a lot of things. And if care is not taken, you can even develop high blood pressure.
The lady is not doing what you are
yes. Thinking. Even the guy said there are some people that they are kind of circle. The kind of circle they have, they believe that all men cheat. Yeah. And if they are in a kind of that circle and your man is not cheating, you will have problem.
Almost 90% of ladies think
and
like
it's not all men that cheat.
It's not all men.
All men. It's not all men. I can testify to it. It's not all men that cheat. It's not all men that cheat. But if like in a kind of environment that kind of give you that kind of mentality that it is all men that cheat, you have issue.
Because I have a friend like that back in school. though she's a
She's a
Muslim.
Muslim.
She's a Muslim. So she just told me something one day like that. She now said, okay, we were talking about someone, Sha. She now said, is it not a guy? She said it in Yoruba, but gbogbo ọkùnrin náà ló máa ń cheat now. All men do cheat. So what is now shocking you there?
Not all men that cheat.
I was like, no, it's not all men. No. So as we were talking like this, you are thinking
I think that means to have a
I'm
cheater.
part of
So trust is very, very important. If there is lack of trust in the relationship, it cannot grow. And then prayer. We cannot overemphasize the place of prayer and God in our relationship and our marriage. We need God. If the foundation is false, what shall the right trust?
So number 1 is commitment.
Yeah.
Number 2 was that
Sacrifice.
Number 3, trust. Number 4, and God.
Because we cannot do it alone.
Okay, thank you on that.
Like this marriage of a thing is a ministry on it. It's a kind of
it's like a course.
It's
like
a course on its own. It is only God. And if you are a kind of person that doesn't hear from God and the life, that doesn't know what God is saying about that relationship, concerning that marriage, then there might be issue. So that's it.
Our time is coming to an end. Let's quickly run this now. So what are the solutions you can give us? The solutions to failing relationship
I used to say that start with friendship, like friends, know little about each other before you start a relationship. Then make sure that God is leading you to each other and pray about it. And it's not until you see vision or you start doing it, but there will be a kind of conviction that this person is the right person for me. Then commitment, you need to be committed, like, okay, I am ready and I'm willing to make this relationship work. Your sacrifice, I need to trust somebody that you not trust. Don't even bother to go and say that you want to date them or you want to marry them, because it's not going to work. Then your love language, make sure you understand your partner love language and constantly speak it to them, because this love we are talking about is like a flower. If you leave a flower on water, it's going to dry up. The same thing as love. Know how to feed your partner love language. Know what makes them happy, what makes them feel loved, and constantly give it to them. It's going to help the courtship.
Thank you, Ma, for joining us today and for coming on our show. I really know that you guys have gained a lot this morning. Thank you so much, our guest.
Thank you very much, sir,
today for helping us out about this courtship thing. We are very glad to have you here.
Thank you, sir.
I'm very happy to have you here today. Thanks so much for I remember something that you said, for the sacrifice to be here. You mentioned sacrifice the other time. So thank you so much for the sacrifice you made to be here today,
welcome,
so that you can help us around this topic, because many people are just being in a relationship where they call it courtship, but they don't even know. They are just they know that they just know that we need to come here before we enter marriage. Everyone knows that you need to be courting before you enter marriage, but they don't know what it entails. So thank you, because I know that they are really they've heard what it entails now to be in a courtship with someone. All right, thank you guys for today, and we have come to the end of the show today. And next time we'll be meeting again next Saturday. Have a blessed day ahead. Thank you.